Okay, so our next sponsor presentation is with Zak Waugh from ReWalk. He is the Business Development Manager for the North Central region of the United States. He has been a supporter of us for a while, so let's support him. And Zak, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Megan. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay here. It sounds like it's been a pretty great morning for everyone so far. So I'll be the fun commercial break for you guys while you're on your break here coming up. So I've had the fortune to know Megan quite a bit ever since starting with ReWalk Robotics. She really helped me build good clinical pipelines and connections with MetroHealth and really kind of kickstart our ReWalk program there, as well as kind of helping to communicate some of the other technology that I'll be speaking about as well. So I would definitely welcome some questions from you guys. I would recommend maybe saving it for afterwards. I'm also going to provide my contact information just so that way if I don't get to those questions today, then I can you can certainly email or give me a ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pull up a fun PowerPoint presentation for you all. And I'm just going to roll off of that. So see if I can get it loaded. Hopefully everyone can see it. A little nod from Megan, just to show that you guys can see the presentation. Great. So again, just a little background about me. I'm a physical therapist working with ReWalk Robotics. So my overall role is to ensure that I am communicating effectively with patient users, medical administration, community members, regarding this technology that you see in front of you. Really our primary product is the ReWalk exoskeleton itself, but I'll also be speaking about some of the other products that we have available for clinical and personal use too. So while I wear a hat of the clinical hat, I'm also kind of the primary contact for any business or any sort of administrative conversations too, for those clinics and patients that are interested in this technology. So I might be rolling through this presentation a little bit fast. I apologize for that. I might skip around and jump a couple slides because I really am excited to show just kind of how widespread our clinical products are, and it really kind of helps to validate the company as being a provider for those affected by spinal cord injury, but also other sort of neurologic impairments too. So in this next chunk of time here, I'll review our company as a whole. I'll present the equipment in line for personal clinical use, namely the ReWalk, the Restore, the MyoCycle, and the MediTouch. I'll review the goals of powered exoskeletons, exosuits, and advanced rehabilitation technology and their impact on an individual's health. I'll describe various ways users can access this equipment, whether they're owning it themselves or going through their clinical providers. And I'll review briefly what kind of lies ahead for us looking forward. We've got a lot to be excited about as a company, and it kind of feels like I'm moving in 15 different directions at once, but that's a good thing, and I appreciate that. So if you were to look at a ReWalk without a person in it, this is what you'd see, basically a floating pair of legs. So the ReWalk is a powered exoskeleton that provides powered hip and knee motion to enable individuals with spinal cord injury to stand upright, walk, and turn. In June of 2014, the FDA did clear the ReWalk for personal ownership and use at home and in the community. So if there are interested members who fit the criteria for safe use with this equipment, we can attempt to go through their reimbursers, their insurance groups to try to get this covered. And I'll touch on that in a little bit. But really that's kind of our primary focus, is making this equipment a commodity just like any other piece of medical equipment that people affected by spinal cord injury could and should have available to them. So a lot of words on this slide. Long story short, the ReWalk is designed to most effectively help those from T7 down to L5. However, I have met and worked with people who are injured much higher up in their spinal cord. It just comes down to functional presentation. So I have worked with a C6 incomplete, for instance, and they just had a ton of residual function in their core, and they had enough use in their hands to really succeed using this equipment. So that's kind of where I come in as a physical therapist, is I'm asking questions in a way that, are these users safe to use this equipment? Diagnostics is an important indicator, but I want to see the 30,000-foot view of the potential candidates here and help the clinicians, especially at Metro, make that decision. All right, what is the best course of action for these users based on all of the information I have, not just their whether or not they're complete or incomplete or what level they're diagnosed as. So the goals, I mean, thinking logically for a second, you know, the ReWalk is designed to help people stand and to walk, and the research is abundant to support why being upright and walking is essential for maintaining best health outcomes. In no way is the ReWalk designed to render the wheelchair useless or to phase it out. It's meant to be a complementary piece of equipment. So this is really going to phase in these people who are motivated to have an additional experience of being upright and engaging the world in a way that they can't do in any other form. So by being upright, we're able to offset some of those secondary medical complications from prolonged seating, namely reducing the risk of pressure ulcers, cutting down any sort of impact on cardiovascular deconditioning, maintaining bone integrity, what have you. So we really try to use this information to justify why the ReWalk is an appropriate and medically necessary piece of equipment for people who are interested in their own device, as well as for walking. I mean, people want them to be able to walk next to their spouses and to their families, and again, kind of engage in that experience in a way that is semblant to a time prior to their injury. Again, not replacing what they are presently capable of doing, but adding to it as well. Really, I mean, I can pull a variety of different articles here, but the loss of fitness and the loss of independence following many people affected by spinal cord injury can greatly impact that quality of life and community participation. And this can lead to excessive and early morbidity caused by chronic illness, such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, and osteoporosis. So the existing research does support that ambulation can provide relevant physical activity and significant health benefits in the SCI population. So we developed this equipment to really help kind of combat those issues that can come from being injured. Some people might ask, how do I come across this equipment? And this is kind of a snapshot overview of our efforts to commoditize this device for the common user. So it started, we acquired a VA coverage policy back in December of 2015, and that's really been our tank as we've fought the reimbursement battle, because the VA has created a contract for us, including Cleveland's VA, for distributing this technology to the appropriate users. And that really gives us some leverage when talking with other payer groups and saying, look, there's 5 other patients who fit the exact same bill as the one that we're talking about today. Why are we denying this patient this access? We're not going to break the bank of these reimbursement companies for these special case scenarios of patients who are looking to, again, improve their overall quality of life. I would say the primary focus of our attention presently is on the VA, workers' compensation, here in Michigan, where I'm from, Michigan Auto and Auto Insurance. And we can submit to commercial payer groups too, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem, United, what have you. Really, we take this kind of on a case-by-case basis. So presently, we have actually received coding from Medicare, basically HCPCS, CMS services, meaning Medicare, Medicaid recognizes exoskeleton technology from a coding standpoint. Doesn't mean they're necessarily paying for it yet, but it means they at least recognize it and can distinguish this as, it's not a foreign piece of equipment. So we still have some work to do yet, but in the background, our team has been really hard at work communicating to Medicare, Medicaid services why this is a quintessential piece of equipment for everyone. So that's really exciting news. And again, if there are people who have Medicare, Medicaid that are good physical candidates, it's not that they can't try this device out. It's rather, I wouldn't want to dangle a carrot in front of them. So what I try to do is, we've been collecting this data and keeping contact with them. So that way, as we get better coverage, we can start to slot them into these clinic days where they can also try out this device. So this is kind of a nice anecdote. Terry Verline, retired Army sergeant. She was the first American to complete a marathon in a ReWalk exoskeleton, and she did it back in November of last year. She's clocked well over 1 million steps on her device. she is a champion. She is a workhorse. She is a true inspiration. So I really want this slide to show just how durable and just how meaningful a piece of equipment like this can be for the right user. So I'm going to kind of burn through this really quick, and I have a lot more slides available, but I want to be respectful of your guys' time. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to zip ahead, and you can see a picture of everything at a glance here. And I really just want to kind of give you the fortune cookie summary of the other 3 pieces of equipment that we have that wouldn't be available if not for the success we built around the ReWalk. So you'll see first the Restore that I hinted at early on is a soft suit exoskeleton for those affected by stroke. And the most prominent feature of this device is that it provides plantar flexion propulsion in a way that nothing else can do. A lot of times when people have a stroke, the way they walk, their foot kind of drags on the ground. So this equipment helps to not only lift the foot from the front end, but also lift the heel as they're bearing their weight and swinging their bodies over and across. We have the Mylan, which now we are able to distribute to clinics and to personal users as well, which is an FES bike and the most affordable and most streamlined version of an FES bike out on the market. So for anyone who's not sure what FES stands for, that refers to functional electrical stimulation. So this is great for people who are early in their recovery from spinal cord injury, or maybe if they have MS, Parkinson's, traumatic brain injury. It's really a comprehensive bike meant to be used for a wide variety of patient demographics that can help to re-engage muscle activation and engage in cardio activity in a way that people maybe couldn't otherwise. And then over on the far left, you'll see the MediTouch here. A little tiny on your screen, but basically this is an array of biofeedback technology that allows therapists to gamify rehab for their patients. So you'll see one that looks like a hand, and then there's one that covers an elbow and a knee, and then there's a little one that it's about the size of a potato chip that can go anywhere on the body. So what really this helps to do is, instead of me telling a patient, bend your elbow, flex your elbow, bend your elbow, extend your elbow, it makes rehab more functionally focused because the user is focused on achieving some sort of outcome on the game, on the computer that you can see the user on the screen there. So we really have, just to kind of summarize this pretty quickly for you guys, I know I've burned through a lot here. Our product line, really, the theory behind why we've chosen these products has really helped us build seamless integration with our clinical partners across age, across ability, across diagnostic labeling. So that way there's a solution for whatever problem presents itself to that clinic within our own product line. And furthermore, we have created a team dedicated to helping users acquire this equipment for their own personal use. It's cool and great to be able to use this in shop, but we want to really create technology that is available for the common user, because that's the only way that this technology is going to improve, is if we build a culture around it. It's great talking to some of the people I know that are using their ReWalk, because we'll go out on walks and we'll talk together. And it's cool kind of seeing what's that culture that's going to build from exoskeleton technology now that people are able to engage in upright activity in a way that they haven't before. So just to wrap this up and really kind of end this right on that 11 o'clock mark, I really do appreciate your time. I know I went through a lot in a very short period of time. So I want to give you my contact information if you want to give me a ring or email me directly. I know this is an Ohio-based forum, so I do think you guys might recognize the gentleman on the left there. Todd and I were lucky enough to meet with former Governor Kasich back at a conference 2 years ago and talk to him about some of the state policies that might make it easier for users to access this equipment. So again, I'm available for any sort of questions, any sort of interest that you might have, whether you're a clinician or a patient. And thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. I'll pass the baton back to Megan if she wants to run with things here.
Absolutely. We kind of are out of time, but if there is like one or two, any questions, maybe we can do like one. Just give that a second.
It'll give me a chance to inhale.
That was a lot of words in a short period of time.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, if you do think of questions, Zach's contact information is on the screen. Feel free to contact him. I look forward to when I am able to possibly try out ReWalk again in the future. But the one question is if you have a website.
ReWalk.com. Easy enough.
Okay, yep. So ReWalk.com will get you there and all of that information. Okay. Thank you so much, Zach, for joining us. And thank you.
Thanks, Megan. This was fun.
Awesome. Take care. We will see you later.
Sounds good. Hey, enjoy your guys' weekend, everyone.
Thank you. You too. Okay. And then